Marcus Rivera had lost everything: his job, his home, his hope. Now he sat on hot concrete outside the Tesla factory, holding a cardboard sign that read, "Veteran, hungry. Anything helps." When the richest man in the world walked by, Marcus made a desperate choice. He called out to Elon Musk and asked for just $1. What happened next shocked everyone who witnessed it. But the real shock wasn't what Musk said. It wasn't even what he offered to do. The real shock was a secret buried 12 years deep in the deserts of Afghanistan. A secret that would reveal why the universe had brought these two men together. A secret that would change hundreds of lives, forever. This is the true story of how $1 became a $1 million program, how a homeless veteran became a national hero, and how sometimes the smallest ask can lead to the biggest miracle. It all started on an October morning when Marcus Rivera gathered the courage to speak to a stranger. The October sun beat down on Marcus Rivera's face as he sat on the hot concrete outside the Tesla Gigafactory, Texas. His cardboard sign was getting soft from sweat and morning dew. The words were still clear, though. Veteran, hungry, anything helps. Marcus had been sitting in the same spot for 3 hours. Cars drove by fast on the highway nearby. Workers walked past him going to lunch. Most people looked away when they saw him. Some dropped coins in his coffee cup without stopping. He counted the money again. $2.37. Not enough for a real meal, maybe enough for a candy bar. His stomach growled loud. He hadn't eaten since yesterday morning when the shelter served breakfast. That felt like a long time ago. Marcus adjusted his old army cap. The desert tan was faded now. There were stains on it that wouldn't wash out, but he kept wearing it anyway. It reminded him of better days. Days when he had a job. Days when he had a home. The factory workers were coming out for lunch break. Marcus sat up straighter. Maybe someone would help today. Maybe someone would see him as a person instead of just a problem. A group of men in safety vests walked by. They were talking about football and weekend plans. Their voices got quiet when they saw Marcus. They walked faster. "Come on," Marcus whispered to himself. "Just one person. One person who cares." That's when he saw him. A tall man in a plain black t-shirt and jeans was walking alone. No safety vest, no hard hat. But Marcus knew that face. Everyone in America knew that face. Elon Musk. Marcus's heart started beating fast. Really fast. This was the richest man in the world. The man who owned Tesla. The man who sent rockets to space. What was he doing here? Why wasn't he in a fancy car with bodyguards? Musk was walking toward the parking lot. In 30 seconds, he would be gone. This was Marcus's only chance. Marcus had two choices. He could stay quiet and let Musk walk away. Or he could be brave. He could ask for help from the one person who definitely had money to spare. His hands were shaking. His mouth felt dry. But 3 months of being homeless had taught him something. You don't get help unless you ask for it. "Excuse me," Marcus called out. His voice cracked a little. "Excuse me, Mr. Musk." The tall man stopped walking. He turned around slowly. Those intense eyes that Marcus had seen on TV were now looking right at him. Marcus felt like he might throw up. What was he doing? This was crazy. Billionaires don't talk to homeless people. But Musk didn't walk away. He stood there waiting. "Yes?" Musk said. His voice was calm. Not mean, but not friendly either. Marcus's brain went blank. He had planned to say something smart, something that would make Musk want to help. But all his words disappeared. Finally, he managed to speak. "Can you give me $1?" The question hung in the air like smoke. Marcus couldn't believe he had actually said it. Of all the things he could have asked the richest man in the world, he asked for $1. Musk tilted his head. He looked confused. $1? He repeated. Marcus nodded. His face felt hot with embarrassment. "Yes, sir. Just $1. I know you're busy, but I haven't eaten since yesterday and—" "What's your name?" Musk interrupted. "Marcus Rivera, sir. You're a veteran?" Musk was looking at the army cap. "Yes, sir. Army. 2 tours in Afghanistan." Musk was quiet for a long moment. Other factory workers were walking around them now. Some stopped to stare. A few pulled out their phones to take pictures or record videos. Marcus wanted to disappear. This was a mistake. He should have stayed quiet. But then Musk did something unexpected. He stepped closer. "Marcus, let me ask you something," Musk said. His voice was softer now. "If I give you $1, what will you do with it?" Marcus thought carefully. This felt important. Like the answer really mattered. "Honestly, sir, I'd probably buy a candy bar from the vending machine over there. I haven't eaten since yesterday morning." "And then what?" Marcus looked down at his hands. They were dirty from living on the street. His fingernails needed cutting. "Then I guess I'd still be hungry tomorrow." Musk nodded slowly, like Marcus had given the right answer to a test. "What? If I told you I have a better idea?" Musk asked. Marcus's heart jumped. "What kind of idea, sir?" But Musk didn't answer right away. Instead, he pulled out his phone. It looked expensive. Everything about him looked expensive, even in just a t-shirt and jeans. "I'm going to make some calls," Musk said. "Stay right here. Don't leave this spot. Can you promise me that?" Marcus nodded quickly. "Yes, sir. I promise. I'll wait right here." As Musk walked away with his phone pressed to his ear, Marcus wondered what had just happened. What Marcus didn't know was that his life was about to change forever, and what neither man knew was that they had met before, in a desert halfway around the world. 6 months earlier, April 2024, Marcus Rivera had always been proud of his hands. Strong hands. Smart hands. Hands that could fix anything with an engine. He stood in Jimmy's auto repair shop on East Riverside Drive, wiping grease off his fingers with an old red rag. The smell of motor oil and metal filled the air. It was a good smell, the smell of honest work. "Marcus, come look at this," called Jimmy Martinez from under the hood of a blue pickup truck. Jimmy owned the shop. He was a good man, fair with his workers, patient with customers who couldn't pay right away. Marcus walked over and peered into the engine. "What's the problem?" "Customer says it won't start. Makes a clicking sound. I've been working on it for 2 hours. Can't figure it out." Marcus listened as Jimmy tried to start the truck. Click, click, click. No engine sound. "Try the lights," Marcus said. Jimmy turned on the headlights. They were bright and strong. "Battery's fine," Jimmy said. "Starter, maybe?" Marcus shook his head. He grabbed a wrench and crawled under the truck. After a few minutes, he came back out. "Ground wire came loose from the frame," he said. "Simple fix." He tightened one bolt. The truck started right up. Jimmy laughed and shook his head. "How do you do that? How do you always know?" Marcus smiled. "My dad taught me. He said engines are like people. When they're sick, they tell you what's wrong. You just have to listen." Marcus's dad had been a mechanic too. He died when Marcus was 20, right before Marcus joined the army. The army taught Marcus to fix bigger things: Humvees, trucks, equipment that kept soldiers alive. In Afghanistan, Marcus was the guy everyone came to when their vehicle broke down. He worked in a motor pool tent in the middle of the desert. Sand got into everything. Engines ran hot. Parts wore out fast. But Marcus could fix anything. His commanding officer used to say, "Rivera's got magic in his hands." When Marcus came home from the army in 2019, Jimmy's shop was the perfect place for him. Small enough to feel like family. Busy enough to make good money. Jimmy treated him like a son. For 5 years, life was good. Marcus had his own apartment on South 1st Street. Nothing fancy, but clean. Safe. His own place. He dated a nurse named Sophia for 2 years. She was kind and smart. She didn't mind that he sometimes woke up from bad dreams about Afghanistan. She would hold his hand until he fell back asleep. Sophia wanted to get married. Marcus wanted that too. He was saving money for a ring. A real diamond ring. The kind she deserved. Then everything changed. In March 2024, a big chain auto shop opened 2 miles down the road. AutoZone Express Repair. They had fancy equipment. Young mechanics in clean uniforms. Signs everywhere promising fast, cheap, reliable. At first, Jimmy wasn't worried. "We've been here 15 years, he told Marcus. "Our customers know us. They trust us." But customers started going to the new place anyway. The chain shop could fix cars faster. They charged less money. They had air conditioning in their waiting room. Jimmy's shop got quieter. Some days, only 2 or 3 cars came in. Marcus and the other mechanics started going home early. "It's just temporary," Jimmy kept saying. "People will come back. They always do." But they didn't come back. By April, Jimmy was losing money every day. He stopped buying new tools. He stopped fixing the broken air conditioner. The shop felt sad and empty. On a rainy Tuesday morning, Jimmy called Marcus into his office. It was a tiny room behind the garage. Pictures of Jimmy's family covered the walls. His kids, his grandchildren, people who depended on him. "Marcus, sit down," Jimmy said. His voice sounded tired. Marcus sat in the old chair across from Jimmy's desk. He already knew what was coming. "I can't pay you anymore," Jimmy said. He wouldn't look Marcus in the eyes. "I'm 3 months behind on rent. My wife says we might lose the shop." Marcus felt something cold in his stomach. "What about the other guys?" "I had to let everyone go yesterday. You were the last one because you're the best mechanic I ever had. But I can't afford even one salary anymore." Jimmy opened his desk drawer and pulled out an envelope. "This is your last paycheck, plus a little extra. I wish it could be more." Marcus took the envelope. It felt thin, light. "I'm sorry, Marcus," Jimmy said. "If things get better, you'll be the first person I call." Marcus shook Jimmy's hand. "It's not your fault, Jimmy. You're a good boss, the best." Walking out of the shop that morning, Marcus felt lost. He had worked there for 5 years. It was more than a job. It was home. He spent the next 2 months looking for work. He filled out applications at every auto shop in Austin. Some places didn't call back. Others said they weren't hiring. A few shops offered him part-time work, 10 hours a week, minimum wage, not enough to pay rent. His savings disappeared fast. Rent was $800 a month. Food, gas, insurance, everything cost money. Money he didn't have anymore. Sophia tried to help. She offered to pay his rent. Marcus said no. He was too proud, too embarrassed. "It's just temporary," he told Her. I'll find something soon. But Sophia got tired of waiting, tired of watching Marcus get sadder every day. In June, she moved back to Houston to live with her sister. "I love you," she said when she left, "but I can't watch you give up on yourself." The eviction notice came on a hot July morning. 30 days to pay or leave. Marcus sold everything he owned. His TV, his furniture, his tools, even his dad's old toolbox. It broke his heart to sell that toolbox, but he needed money for food. It still wasn't enough. On August 15th, 2 sheriff's deputies knocked on his door. They were polite, but firm. Marcus had 2 hours to pack whatever he could carry. He put his clothes in 2 garbage bags. He kept his army cap, a few pictures, his discharge papers. Everything else stayed behind. That night, Marcus slept in his pickup truck in a Walmart parking lot. The truck was 12 years old. It ran okay, but the air conditioning was broken. Texas in August was brutal. For 3 weeks, the truck was his home. He washed in gas station bathrooms. He ate dollar menu food when he had money. He looked for work every day. Then the truck broke down. The transmission went out. It would cost $1,500 to fix. Money Marcus didn't have. The bank took the truck in September. Now Marcus had nothing. No home, no car, no job, no family in Texas. He carried his belongings in a backpack. He slept in the homeless shelter when they had room. When they didn't, he slept outside. And that's how a decorated Army veteran ended up sitting on concrete, asking the richest man in the world for $1. Sometimes life changes fast. Sometimes good people fall through the cracks. But sometimes the universe has a plan. Back to October 15, 2024. Outside Tesla Gigafactory, Marcus watched Elon Musk walk away with his phone pressed to his ear. The billionaire was talking quietly, but Marcus couldn't hear the words. Other factory workers kept walking by. Some stared at Marcus. Others stared at Musk. A few people had their phones out, taking pictures and videos. Is that really Elon Musk? A woman in a safety vest asked her friend. "Yeah, that's him. What's he doing talking to that homeless guy?" Marcus felt his face get hot. He wanted to hide. He wanted to disappear. But he had promised to stay. And Marcus always kept his promises. 5 minutes passed. Then 10. Marcus started to worry. Maybe Musk had forgotten about him. Maybe this was just a rich man's joke. But then Musk came back. He put his phone in his pocket and sat down on the curb next to Marcus. Marcus couldn't believe it. The richest man in the world was sitting on dirty concrete. His expensive jeans were going to get dusty. "Sorry that took so long," Musk said. "I had to make several calls." "That's okay, sir. I'm not going anywhere." Musk looked at Marcus carefully, like he was studying him. "Marcus, tell me about yourself. How long have you been homeless?" 3 months, sir." "What happened? If you don't mind me asking." Marcus took a deep breath. He had told this story before. To social workers, to people at the shelter, but never to someone like Elon Musk. "I lost my job. I was a mechanic at a small shop. The owner couldn't afford to pay me anymore. I couldn't find another job fast enough. Lost my apartment. Lost my truck. Now I'm here." "What kind of mechanic? Work did you do?" "Everything, really. Cars, trucks, motorcycles. I was good at fixing things other people couldn't figure out." Musk nodded. "And before that, you served in Afghanistan?" "Yes, sir. 2 tours. I worked in the motor pool, fixed vehicles for our unit." "That must have been dangerous work," Marcus shrugged. "Everything was dangerous over there, but somebody had to keep the trucks running." If a Humvee broke down outside the base, people could die? Did you ever have to go outside the base to fix vehicles? The question was odd, specific, but Marcus answered honestly. Sometimes, yes, sir. If a convoy got stuck or broke down, they'd call us. We'd go out with security teams to fix whatever was broken. Something changed in Musk's expression. His eyes got more intense. Marcus, I want to offer you something. But first, I need to know, are you willing to work hard? Really hard? Yes, sir. I've never been afraid of hard work. Good, because I don't believe in handouts. I believe in giving people chances to earn their way back up. Marcus felt hope growing in his chest. Real hope. What kind of chance, sir? Tesla is opening a new service center here in Austin. We need mechanics who understand both traditional engines and electric vehicle systems. The pay is good. The benefits are good. And we train our people on the newest technology. Marcus stared at him. Are you offering me a job? I'm offering you an interview. A real interview. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. But sir, I don't have a car. I don't have nice clothes for an interview. I probably smell like… Marcus, stop. Musk's voice was firm but kind. We'll figure out the details. What I need to know is, do you want the job? More than anything, sir, then it's yours, assuming you can pass our basic skills test. Marcus felt tears starting in his eyes. He tried to blink them away. Why? He whispered. Why are you helping me? You don't even know me. Musk was quiet for a long moment. When he spoke, his voice was softer. Because everyone deserves a second chance. And because I have a feeling you're exactly the kind of person Tesla needs. A security guard in a Tesla uniform walked over to them. Mr. Musk, is everything okay here? Everything's fine, David. This is Marcus Rivera. He's going to be interviewing for our new service center tomorrow. David looked confused, but nodded. Yes, sir. Do you need anything? Actually, yes. Can you give Marcus a ride to the Hampton Inn on Highway 35? Tesla will cover his room for tonight. And tomorrow morning, bring him back here for his interview. Marcus couldn't speak. A hotel room, a real bed, a shower. That's too much, sir. I can't accept. Yes, you can. And you will. Musk stood up and brushed the dust off his jeans. David, also make sure he gets a good meal tonight. Whatever he wants. Yes, sir. Musk pulled a business card from his wallet and handed it to Marcus. This has my assistant's number on it. If you need anything, anything at all, before tomorrow. Morning, call her. Her name is Sarah Chen. Marcus took the card with shaking hands. Mr. Musk, I don't know how to thank you. Don't thank me yet. Thank me after you ace the interview and start changing your life. Musk started to walk away, then turned back. Oh, and Marcus? Get some rest tonight. Tomorrow is going to be a big day for both of us. As Marcus watched Musk disappear into the factory, he looked down at the business card in his hand. This morning, he had been begging for $1. Tonight, he would sleep in a real bed with a real chance at a real job. But what Marcus didn't know was that this was just the beginning. Elon Musk had bigger plans than just one job for one homeless veteran. Much bigger plans. And somewhere deep in Musk's memory, a piece of a puzzle was starting to fit together. A piece that would change everything once the full picture became clear. Fezu. Next 3 days, Elon Musk couldn't sleep that night. He kept thinking about Marcus Rivera. Something about the name felt familiar. Something about the man's face. Something about Afghanistan. At 3 in the morning, Musk got out of bed and went to his home office. He opened his laptop and started typing. Marcus Rivera, Army, Afghanistan. motor pool. But he needed more than Google searches. He needed real information. Professional help. At 6 a.m., Musk called Sarah Chen, Tesla's head of human resources. "Sarah, I need you to do something for me, quietly." "Of course, Mr. Musk. What do you need?" "I want you to run a complete background check on a man named Marcus Rivera. He's a veteran. Says he served in Afghanistan. I need to know everything." "Is this for a job application?" "Something like that. How fast can you get me the information?" "If he's a veteran, I can have his military records by this afternoon. Public records by tonight." "Good. Send me everything. And Sarah, keep this between us for now." Sarah's team worked fast. By noon, a thick folder sat on Musk's desk. Marcus Rivera's entire life story and official documents. Musk read every page twice. Born in Austin, Texas, 1990. Father died when Marcus was 20. Joined the Army 6 months later. Basic training at Fort Benning. Advanced mechanic training at Fort Lee. First deployment to Afghanistan, March 2012 to November 2012. Forward Operating Base Chapman, Motor Pool Specialist. Second deployment, January 2014 to September 2014. Camp Dwyer, Lead Mechanic for Convoy Operations. Purple Heart recipient. Citation read, "For injuries sustained while performing vehicle recovery operations under enemy fire." Honorable discharge, October 2014. No criminal record. No disciplinary actions. The dates made Musk's heart beat faster. March 2012. That was when his father, Errol, had been in Afghanistan working on mining contracts. But Musk needed more than dates. He needed details. He called Detective Lisa Rodriguez with the Austin Police Department. They had worked together before on community safety projects around Tesla facilities. "Lisa, I need a favor. Can you verify someone's story for me? Unofficially?" "What kind of story?" "A veteran claims he lost his job at a local auto shop. I want to make sure he's telling the truth before I help him. Give me his name and the shop. I'll check it out." 2 hours later, Rodriguez called back. "Your guy's story checks out completely. I talked to Jimmy Martinez at Jimmy's Auto Repair. He says Marcus Rivera was the best mechanic he ever had. Honest as they come. Martinez hated letting him go, but the shop was going under." What else did Martinez say? That Marcus saved his business more than once. Fixed cars other mechanics couldn't figure out. Customers loved him. If Martinez could afford to hire him back tomorrow, he would. Rodriguez had also talked to Marcus's former landlord, Mrs. Garcia. Clean tenant, quiet, always paid rent on time. She felt terrible when she had to evict him. Said he never caused any trouble, never complained. Musk hung up the phone feeling relieved. Marcus was exactly who he claimed to be. A good man who had fallen on hard times, but that wasn't the only reason Musk was investigating. That night, Musk opened his laptop again. This time, he searched for something specific. Errol Musk Afghanistan 2012 Mining Contracts Convoy Attack. Most of the search results were in Afrikaans, South African news sites, mining industry publications. Nothing in English. Musk called his assistant in South Africa. It was morning there. "Anton, I need you to find some old news reports for me. March 2012. Any stories about my father being in Afghanistan, especially anything about convoy attacks or accidents. I'll look into it." "Mr. Musk, may I ask why?" "Just curious about something. Email me whatever you find." The next morning, Musk found 3 news articles in his inbox, all from South African papers, all about a convoy attack near Kandahar in March 2012. One article mentioned that several South African mining consultants were in the convoy. No names given, Another article said American soldiers helped rescue civilians from burning vehicles. The third article had a quote from an unnamed survivor. "If it wasn't for those young American soldiers, we would all be dead. They risked their lives to save us." Musk stared at his computer screen. The puzzle pieces were starting to come together, but he needed to be absolutely sure. Meanwhile, Marcus was having the best 3 days of his life. The Hampton Inn room felt like a palace. Clean sheets, hot shower, cable TV, room service that delivered whatever he wanted to eat. On Tuesday morning, David the security guard picked him up for his interview at Tesla. Marcus wore new clothes that Sarah Chen had delivered to his hotel room. Nice jeans, a button-down shirt, clean boots. The interview went perfectly. Marcus took apart and rebuilt an electric motor in 20 minutes. He diagnosed problems that had stumped other mechanics. He answered every technical question correctly. "When? Can you start?" asked the hiring manager. "Right now, sir." "How about Monday? That gives us time to process your paperwork." Marcus spent Tuesday afternoon filling out forms, background check authorization, tax documents, direct deposit setup. He was going to make $75,000 a year, plus benefits, plus overtime opportunities. It felt like winning the lottery. On Wednesday, Musk visited Marcus at the hotel. "How did the interview go?" "Great, sir. They offered me the job. I start Monday." "Excellent. Are you ready to move into your own place?" Marcus nodded eagerly. "Sarah found you an apartment. Nothing fancy, but it's clean and safe. Tesla will cover the first month's rent and security deposit." Marcus felt tears in his eyes again. "Mr. Musk, this is too much. Why are you doing all this for me?" Musk sat down in the hotel room chair. He looked at Marcus for a long moment. "Marcus, can I ask you something specific about your time in Afghanistan?" "Of course, sir." "Do you remember ever rescuing civilians from a convoy attack? Pulling people from burning vehicles?" Marcus thought for a moment. "Yes, sir. That happened a few times. It was part of our job." "Any specific incidents you remember clearly?" "There was one in March 2012. Big convoy got hit by an IED near Kandahar. Several vehicles caught fire. We pulled out about 8 people total." Musk's heart started racing. "Do you remember any of the civilians?" "Not really, sir. Everything happened so fast. There was a lot of smoke and chaos. But I remember one man specifically." "Why him?" "Because he kept trying to give me money afterward. Cash from his wallet. I told him no. I said, just help the next guy who needs it." Musk went very quiet. "Marcus, what did this man look like?" "Older guy. Maybe 60. Tall. Had an accent. South African, I think." The puzzle piece clicked into place with an almost audible snap. Musk knew exactly who Marcus had saved, and now he knew why the universe had brought them together. October 18th, 2024. 3 days after the first meeting, Elon Musk couldn't eat breakfast, couldn't focus on emails, couldn't think about anything except the conversation he needed to have with Marcus Rivera. For 3 days, he had carried the weight of knowing something Marcus didn't know, something that would change everything between them. Marcus had saved his father's life, and Musk had spent 12 years wondering if he would ever find the American soldier his father had talked about in those final, painful phone calls. At 10 a.m., Musk drove to the Hampton Inn. He found Marcus in the lobby, reading a Tesla employee handbook. "Good morning, Marcus." "Good morning, Mr. Musk. Thank you again for everything. I start work on Monday. I can't wait." "That's actually what I want to talk to you about. Can we go somewhere private?" They went up to Marcus's hotel room. Musk sat in the chair by the window. Marcus sat on the edge of the bed. "Marcus, I need to tell you something. Something important." Marcus looked worried. "Did I do something wrong? Is there a problem with the job?" "No, nothing like that. The job is yours. But there's more to this story than just a job." Musk pulled a folder from his briefcase. It was thick with papers and photographs. "I've been doing some research. About you. About your military service. About Afghanistan." "Why?" "Because when you told me your name 3 days ago, something felt familiar. And when you mentioned Afghanistan, I knew I had to find out more." Musk opened the folder and pulled out a military document. "According to your service record, you were involved in a convoy rescue operation on March 15, 2012, near Kandahar. Several civilians were pulled from burning vehicles." Marcus nodded. "Yes, sir. I remember that day. One of those civilians was a South African mining consultant. Tall man, about 60 years old. He tried to give you money afterward." "That's right. How do you know about that?" Musk took a deep breath. This was the moment that would change everything. Because that man was my father. Elon Musk. Marcus stared at him. The words didn't make sense at first. "Your father?" "My father was in Afghanistan in 2012, working on mining contracts. He was in that convoy when it was attacked. And according to him, an American soldier named Marcus Rivera saved his life." Marcus felt dizzy. The room seemed to spin a little. "That was your father?" "Yes. He talked about you for years afterward. He said you were the bravest young man he had ever met. He said you risked your life to pull him from a burning vehicle." Marcus remembered that day clearly now. The explosion, the fire, the smoke, the man with the South African accent who kept saying, "Thank you," over and over. "I can't believe this," Marcus whispered. "There's more," Musk said gently. "My father and we had a complicated relationship. We didn't speak for the last few years of his life. I was angry with him about things that happened when I was young." Musk's voice got quieter. "He died 3 years ago, in South Africa. And one of the last things he told the hospital staff was that he wished he could find the American soldier who saved him in Afghanistan. He wanted to thank you properly." Marcus felt tears starting in his eyes. "Mr. Musk, I had no idea. I'm so sorry for your loss." "Thank you. But here's what I want you to understand. When you asked me for that $1 3 days ago, I didn't just see a homeless veteran. I saw the man who gave my father a second chance at life." The room was very quiet. Both men were thinking about fate, about coincidence, about how strange life could be. "So the job," Marcus started to say, "the job is real. You earned it with your skills and your interview. But yes, I wanted to help you because of what you did for my father." "Why didn't you tell me right away?" Musk smiled a little. "Because I wanted you to know that you deserved help just for being you, not because of what you did for my family." Marcus wiped his eyes with the back of his hand. "What was he like? Your father?" "Complicated, brilliant, difficult. He made a lot of mistakes as a parent, but he was a good man in many ways. And he never forgot your kindness." Musk pulled out another paper from the folder. "Actually, there's something else. Before he died, my father wrote a letter. He never sent it, but the hospital found it in his belongings." Musk handed Marcus a piece of paper. It was written in shaky handwriting. "To the American soldier Marcus Rivera, you probably don't remember me. I was the old South African man you saved from the burning truck in Afghanistan. You wouldn't take money from me that day. You said to just help the next person who needed it. I never forgot that. Your bravery, your kindness, your honor. I tried to find you for years, but I didn't know how. I wanted to tell you that what you did mattered. You didn't just save my life. You reminded me what good people look like. Hope you made it home safely. I hope you have a good life. You deserve it. Thank you for everything. Elon Musk. Marcus read the letter twice. Then he folded it carefully and held it against his chest. He really wrote this? Yes. The hospital gave it to me after he died. I've been carrying it for 3 years, hoping I might somehow find you. And now you have. And now I have. They sat in comfortable silence for a few minutes. Marcus, I want to ask you something, Musk said finally. How do you feel about helping other veterans? Veterans who are going through what you just went through? I'd love to help. But I don't know how. What if I told you that your new job at Tesla is just the beginning? What if I told you I want to start a program to help homeless veterans across the country? Marcus looked up with interest. What kind of program? Jobs, housing, training, real second chances. The kind of help you just received, but bigger, much bigger. That sounds amazing. But why would you want me involved? Because you understand what it's like. Because people will trust you. Because you're the kind of person who risks his life to save others, even when those others are strangers. Musk leaned forward in his chair. Marcus, I want to offer you a choice. You can take the mechanic job and live a good, quiet life. Or you can help me build something that could change thousands of lives. What would that mean exactly? It would mean traveling around the country, meeting with other veterans, helping design programs that actually work, being the face of hope for people who have lost hope. Marcus thought about all the homeless veterans he had met at shelters. Good people, who just needed a chance. I'd get to help people like me. Exactly like you. Marcus didn't hesitate. Yes, I want to do that. I want to help. Musk smiled. I was hoping you'd say that. But what neither man knew was that this conversation was just the beginning. The real surprises were still coming. The truth about Elon's father, what Elon told Marcus about his father was true, but it wasn't the whole truth. The whole truth was much more painful, much more complicated, and much more personal than Elon had ever shared with anyone. Elon Musk had been a difficult father, cold, critical, sometimes cruel. When Elon was a boy in South Africa, his father would disappear for weeks at a time on business trips. He would come home angry and distant. Elon's mother, May, finally divorced Errol when Elon was 10 years old. She took Elon and his siblings and tried to build a new life. But Errol stayed involved. He would visit and fill Elon's head with impossible dreams and harsh criticisms. "You're not tough enough," Errol would say. "The world will eat you alive." "You're too sensitive," he would tell young Elon. "Successful men don't cry." When Elon became a teenager, he chose to live with his father for a while. He thought it would bring them closer together. Instead, it made things worse. Errol was jealous of Elon's intelligence, jealous of his creativity, jealous of his dreams. "You think you're so smart," Errol would say when Elon talked about computers or space. "You think you're better than everyone else." By the time Elon left South Africa for Canada at age 17, he and his father barely spoke. The conversations they did have usually ended in arguments. Elon built his fortune in America. PayPal, Tesla, SpaceX. He became one of the richest men in the world. But success didn't heal the pain from his childhood. Every few years, Errol would call. Usually when he needed money. Sometimes when he was drunk. The conversations were always difficult. "I'm proud of you, son," Errol would say, but it never sounded real. In 2019, Errol got sick. Diabetes, heart problems. The doctor said he needed to change his lifestyle completely. But Errol was stubborn. He kept working on dangerous mining projects in remote places. He kept drinking. He kept making bad decisions. The last time Elon spoke to his father was in March 2021. Errol called asking for money to invest in a new mining operation. "Dad, you're 73 years old. You're sick. Why don't you retire? I'll take care of you." "I don't need your charity," Errol snapped. "I can take care of myself." "It's not charity. You're my father. Your father who was never good enough. For you. Your father who embarrassed you." The conversation went bad fast. Old wounds reopened. Harsh words were said. "Fine," Elon finally said. "Take care of yourself then. But don't call me again asking for help." "Don't worry," Errol replied. "I won't." That was the last time they spoke. 18 months later, Elon got a call from a hospital in Pretoria. "Mr. Musk? This is Dr. Johannesburg from Pretoria General Hospital. Your father is here. He's very sick." Elon's first thought was relief. His father was alive. They could fix this. They could finally talk properly. "What's wrong with him?" "Severe malnutrition. Dehydration. His diabetes is completely out of control." "Mr. Musk, I need to tell you, your father has been homeless for several months." The words hit Elon like a punch to the stomach. "Homeless? That's impossible. He has money? He has properties?" "I'm afraid not, sir. He lost everything in a failed business deal last year. He's been living on the streets of Johannesburg." Elon felt sick. His father, proud, stubborn Elon Musk, had been sleeping outside, begging for food, living like the homeless people Elon saw every day but tried not to think about. Is he going to be okay?" "He's very weak, Mr. Musk. Very sick. And he's asking for you." Elon stared at his phone. All the anger from their last conversation came flooding back. All the years of criticism and coldness, all the pain his father had caused. "Mr. Musk? Are you there?" "Yes, I'm here." "Will you come?" He doesn't have much time. Elon almost said yes. He almost booked a flight to South Africa that night. He almost chose forgiveness over pride. Almost. "Tell him," Elon started to say, then stopped. "Tell him what, sir?" "Tell him I hope he gets better." "That's all?" "That's all." Elon hung up the odd phone and tried to go back to work. But he couldn't focus. He kept thinking about his father lying in a hospital bed, alone and scared. 3 days later, the hospital called again. "Mr. Musk? I'm sorry to tell you that your father passed away this morning." Did he say anything?" "Yes, sir. He talked a lot about Afghanistan, about an American soldier who saved his life. He kept saying he wished he could find this soldier and thank him properly." "Anything else?" "He said to tell you that he was sorry, and that he loved you, and that he understood why you couldn't come." Elon hung up and cried for the first time in years. The guilt ate at him every day after that. He had billions of dollars. He could have saved his father with pocket change. He could have paid for the best medical care in the world. He could have given him a place to live. But pride and anger had stopped him. And now it was too late. That's when Elon found the letter among his father's belongings. The letter to Marcus Rivera. The letter about kindness and second chances. Reading that letter, Elon realized something important. His father had learned about kindness from Marcus. A young American soldier had shown Elon Musk what it meant to help someone without expecting anything in return. And now, 12 years later, Elon had a chance to honor that lesson. When Marcus asked for $1 outside the Tesla factory, Elon didn't just see a homeless veteran. He saw a chance for redemption. A chance to be the son his father had needed. A chance to help someone the way Marcus had helped Errol. But there was still one more secret Elon hadn't shared with Marcus. One more piece of the puzzle that would make this story even more incredible. A piece that Marcus himself was about to discover. Because sometimes the universe doesn't just bring two people together once. Sometimes it brings them together twice. And sometimes the second meeting is even more important than the first. 6 months later, April 2025, Marcus Rivera stood in his new office on the 15th floor of a downtown Austin building. Through the eye-wide big windows, he could see the Tesla Gigafactory in the distance. The same place where his life had changed forever. The sign on his door read, Marcus Rivera, Director, Tesla Veteran Services. In 6 months, the program had grown beyond anyone's wildest dreams. They had helped over 300 homeless veterans find jobs and housing, not just at Tesla, but at companies across Texas, California, and New York. Marcus had been on TV dozens of times. CNN, Fox News, 60 Minutes, local news stations in every major city. He had become the face of hope for forgotten veterans. The story was always the same. From homeless to hero. The man who asked Elon Musk for $1. But Marcus never felt like a hero. He felt like the luckiest man alive. Today was special. Tesla Veteran Services was opening their 10th location. This one in San Antonio. Marcus was driving down for the ribbon-cutting ceremony. As he packed his briefcase, Marcus looked at the framed letter on his wall. Elon Musk's letter. The one thanking him for saving a stranger's life in Afghanistan. Every morning, Marcus read that letter. It reminded him why this work mattered, why second chances were so important. His assistant, Jennifer, knocked on the door. Marcus, there's someone here to see you. Says he knew you in the army. Who is it? A man named David Chen. Says he was your sergeant in Afghanistan. Marcus's heart jumped. Sergeant Chen? He hadn't seen him since 2014. Send him in. A moment later, a man in his 50s walked through the door. Still looked military. Still had that commanding presence that made you stand up straighter. Rivera, look at you, all fancy with your own office. Marcus laughed and gave his old sergeant a big hug. Sergeant Chen, what are you doing in Austin? Retired now. Live in Houston with my daughter. Saw you on the news last week. Had to come see this for myself. They sat down and caught up. Chen told Marcus about his retirement, his grandkids, his struggles finding work after leaving the army. You know, I could use help with the Houston program, Marcus said. We're opening an office there next month. Want a job? You serious? Dead. Serious. We need someone who understands veterans. Someone they'll respect, Chen smiled. I'd love that. As they talked, Chen pulled out his phone. Marcus, I got something to show you. Been carrying this picture for 13 years. He showed Marcus an old photo on his phone. It was dusty and faded, but Marcus recognized it immediately. It showed Marcus pulling a man from a burning vehicle. The convoy attack in March 2012. I took this picture that day, Chen said. Right after you pulled that South African guy out of the truck. You remember? Of course I remember. That was a crazy day. You know what's funny? I actually ran into that guy again a few years later. Marcus looked up sharply. What do you mean? I was working security for a mining conference in Houston in 2019. This old South African man comes up to me, says he recognizes me from Afghanistan, starts asking about the American soldier who saved his life. Marcus felt his heart beating faster. What did you tell him? I told him your name. Marcus Rivera from Austin, Texas. He got real excited, started writing it down, said he'd been looking for you for years. Marcus stared at his old sergeant. Chen, what did this man look like? Tall guy, maybe 70 years old, had white hair, spoke with a thick accent. Why? Marcus pulled out his phone and searched for a picture of Elon Musk. He showed it to Chen. Is this him? Chen studied the photo carefully. Yeah, that's him. How did you know? Marcus felt dizzy. The room started spinning. Chen, that man was Elon, Musk's father. The Tesla guy? No way. Yes way. That's how this whole thing started. Elon found out I saved his father's life. That's why he helped me. Chen shook his head in amazement. Small world. But Chen, you said you met him in 2019? Yeah, at the mining conference in Houston. Why? Marcus did the math in his head. The mining conference was in 2019. Elon Musk died in 2021. That meant Errol had Marcus's name and location 2 years before he died. But according to Elon, his father never tried to contact Marcus, never tried to find him. Something didn't add up. Chen, are you absolutely sure he wrote down my name and information? Positive. He was real excited about it. Said he was going to find you and thank you properly. Marcus felt confused. If Errol had his information in 2019, why didn't he ever reach out? Did he say anything else? Chen thought for a moment. Actually, yeah. He said something strange. He said his son would never approve of him contacting you. Said his son thought he was a bad person who didn't deserve to thank heroes. Marcus's blood went cold. He said what? He said his son, and he mentioned it was Elon Musk, would be angry if he knew his father was trying to find the soldier who saved him. Said they didn't get along. Marcus sat down hard in his chair. Chen, did he leave any way to contact him? He gave me his business card. I probably still have it somewhere. Chen pulled out his wallet and searched through old cards and receipts. Here it is. He handed Marcus a business card. It was cream-colored with gold lettering. Elon Musk, Mining Consultant Cell, Plot 27, 82 55 55 0147. Email, emusk.miningagmail.com on. The back of the card, written in shaky handwriting, were the words, Marcus Rivera, Austin, Texas, the American soldier, who saved my life. I will find you and thank you properly. E.M. Marcus stared at the card. His hands were shaking. If Errol had Marcus's information in 2019, and if he was determined to find him, then why had he never made contact? There was only one possible answer. Someone had stopped him. Chen, I need to ask you something important. When you talked to Elon Musk that day, did anyone else hear the conversation? Actually, yeah. There was a young woman with him, his assistant, or something. She was taking notes the whole time. What did she look like? Asian woman, maybe 30 years old, really professional. Had one of those expensive tablets. Marcus felt sick to his stomach. Did you catch her name? I think so. Sarah something. Sarah Chen. No relation to me, just same last name. Sarah Chen. Elon's head of human resources. The same woman who had run Marcus's background check. The same woman who had bought him clothes for his interview. Sarah Chen had been with Errol when he found out Marcus's information, which meant Sarah had known about the connection between Marcus and Errol 2 years before Marcus ever met Elon, which meant Elon had known too, which meant everything. The chance meeting outside the factory, the investigation, the job offer, the surprise about Afghanistan, all of it had been planned. Marcus wasn't a lucky man who happened to ask the right billionaire for help. He was part of an elaborate setup that had been 3 years in the making. The question was, why? Why would Elon Musk orchestrate such a complicated plan? Why not just contact Marcus directly after his father died? What was Elon hiding, and what else about this story wasn't true? December 2024. Tesla Veteran Services. Christmas Party Marcus had been carrying Errol's business card in his wallet for 8 months. Every day, he thought about confronting Elon. Every day, he decided to wait. But tonight was different. Tonight, at the Tesla Veteran Services Christmas party, Marcus was going to demand the truth. The party was huge. Over 200 people filled the ITU ballroom at the Austin Marriott. Veterans who had found jobs, their families, Tesla employees, local news crews, everyone wanted to celebrate the program's success. In 1 year, they had helped over 400 homeless veterans. The program was expanding to 15 cities. Marcus was being called a national hero. But Marcus felt like a fraud. He stood at the podium, looking out at the crowd. Elon sat at a table in the front row, smiling proudly. "A year ago, I was homeless and hopeless," Marcus began his speech. "I thought my life was over. Then Elon Musk stopped and listened when I asked for $1. That kindness changed everything." The crowd applauded. Marcus waited for quiet. "But tonight," he continued, "I want to share something I just discovered. Something that makes this story even more amazing." Elon's smile faded. He had a bad feeling about this. Marcus pulled out an old photograph, the same one Sergeant Chen had shown him. This picture was taken in Afghanistan in 2012. It shows me pulling a South African man from a burning vehicle after an insurgent attack. The crowd got quiet. Cameras started flashing. For 12 years, I've wondered what happened to that man. I saved his life, but I never learned his name. The convoy left so quickly. Marcus held up the photo so everyone could see. "Last week, I was cleaning out some old military gear when I found this photo again. I decided to post it online, hoping to find the man I saved." This was a lie. Marcus had never posted the photo online, but he needed to protect Sergeant Chen. "Within hours, someone recognized him," Marcus continued. "The man I saved in Afghanistan was Elon Musk, Elon's father." The crowd gasped. People started talking excitedly. This was incredible news. Marcus looked directly at Elon. "Elon never told me. He helped me not because I was just some random homeless veteran. He helped me because I once helped his father." Elon stood up slowly. The room went completely silent. "Marcus," he said, his voice shaking, "that's not the whole story." "Then tell us the whole story." Elon walked to the front of the room. He looked nervous. Scared, even. "Marcus is right. His father saved my father's life in Afghanistan. But there's more." Elon took the microphone with trembling hands. "After my father died in 2021, I found a letter among his belongings. A letter to Marcus Rivera. He had been looking for Marcus for years." The crowd was completely still. "But what Marcus doesn't know," Elon continued, "is that my father actually found him." Marcus felt his heart stop. What do you mean? In 2019, my father attended a mining conference in Houston. He met Marcus's old sergeant there. He got Marcus's name and address. The crowd started murmuring. This was getting confusing. So why didn't your father contact me? Marcus asked. Elon looked down at his feet. When he looked up, there were tears in his eyes. Because I stopped him. The room exploded. Everyone started talking at once. Cameras flashed like lightning. You stopped him? Marcus's voice was loud now. Angry. Marcus, you have to understand. My father and we had a terrible relationship. When he called me in 2019 and said he wanted to find some American soldier, I thought it was another one of his schemes. What kind of schemes? My father was always trying to get money from me. Always had some story about people he owed favors to. I thought this Marcus Rivera thing was fake. A way to guilt me into giving him money. Marcus stared at Elon in disbelief. So what did you do? I told him if he contacted you, I would cut him off completely. No more money. No more help. Nothing. The crowd was getting angry now. People were booing. Someone yelled, "That's terrible!" My father was sick, Elon continued, his voice breaking. He needed my help to survive. So he agreed. He promised not to contact you. And then what happened? Then he got sicker, lost all his money, became homeless. And I was too proud and too angry to help him. Elon was crying now. Real tears. When he died in 2021, alone in that hospital, the nurses told me his last words were about you, about the American soldier he never got to thank. Marcus felt dizzy. This was too much to process. So when I asked you for that $1, when you told me your name, I couldn't believe it. Marcus Rivera from Austin, Texas. The same name my father had written down. The same name I had forbidden him to contact. The room was dead silent now. I had Sarah Chen verify everything. Your military records. Your service in Afghanistan. The dates all matched. That's why you investigated me so thoroughly. Yes, because I realized that you weren't some scheme. You were real. You really had saved my father's life. And I had prevented him from thanking you. Elon wiped his eyes with his sleeve. Marcus, I didn't help you because you asked for $1. I helped you because I owed you a debt I could never repay. You gave my father a second chance at life in Afghanistan. And I took away his chance to thank you. Marcus felt overwhelmed, angry, grateful, confused, all at the same time. Why didn't you tell me this from the beginning? Because I was ashamed. Because I wanted you to think I was a good person who helped homeless veterans out of kindness. Not someone who was trying to ease his own guilt. The crowd was getting restless. Some people looked angry at Elon. Others looked sympathetic. Marcus walked over to Elon. For a moment, everyone thought he might hit him. Instead, Marcus put his hand on Elon's shoulder. Elon, your father tried to give me money that day in Afghanistan. I told him, just help the next guy who needs it. Elon nodded, still crying. Well, Marcus said, loud enough for everyone to hear, it took 12 years, but I think we finally followed through on that promise. The room was quiet for a moment. Then someone started clapping. Then another person. Then everyone. Marcus turned to face the crowd. You know what I learned tonight? Sometimes the universe doesn't just give you what you need. Sometimes it gives you exactly what you need to help other people too. He pulled out his wallet and took out Errol's business card, the one with the handwritten note on the back. This belonged to Elon's father. He wrote my name on it because he wanted to thank me. But I think the real thank you is this room. All of you. all the lives we've changed together." Marcus handed the card to Elon. "Your father did find a way to thank me. Through you. Through this program. Through every veteran we've helped." Elon looked at the card. His father's handwriting looked shaky and sad. "Marcus, can you forgive me?" Marcus smiled. "There's nothing to forgive. Your father taught me that helping people doesn't always work out the way you plan. But that doesn't mean you stop trying." Later that night, as the party wound down, Marcus and Elon sat outside under the Texas stars. "Can I ask you something?" Marcus said. "Anything. When I asked you for that $1, what were you really thinking?" Elon smiled through his tears. "I was thinking that sometimes the universe gives you exactly the chance you need to make things right. I just had to be brave enough to take it. And now? Now I think we're both exactly where we're supposed to be." As they sat in comfortable silence, Marcus pulled out a crisp $1 bill. "What's that for?" Elon asked. "This is the dollar you never gave me," Marcus said with a grin. "I figured I should finally collect it." Elon took the dollar and handed it back. "Keep it. Frame it. Put it in your office. Let it remind you that sometimes the smallest ask can lead to the biggest change." Marcus nodded. "You know what? I think I will." And as the two men shook hands under the starlit sky, both knew that this was just the beginning. The Tesla Veteran Services Program would grow. More lives would be changed. More families would be reunited with hope. All because a homeless man was brave enough to ask for $1. All because a billionaire was wise enough to give so much more. All because sometimes the universe has a plan bigger than any of us can. Imagine that was the end of Marcus Rivera and Elon Musk's incredible journey. From a simple request for $1 to a nationwide program that changed hundreds of lives forever. We'd love to know, where are you watching from today? Drop your city and country in the comments below. If this touched your heart, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more amazing tales of hope, kindness, and second chances that will inspire you. Most importantly, share this video with your friends and family. Let's spread awareness about our veterans who need help. Let's spread kindness to those who feel forgotten. Because sometimes, all it takes is one person willing to listen. One person willing to help. One person willing to believe that everyone deserves a second chance. Thank you for watching, and remember, you never know how your small act of kindness today might change someone's entire world tomorrow.